Hi everyone, so in today's video I'm going to be making a card using the Poinsettia Petals and the beautiful Speciality plush paper, which you can find in our holiday catalogue on pages 14, 15 and 16. It really is a big suite. It's beautiful. Now, if you've watched any of my previous videos, you'll see that I've been using this suite a lot, but mainly using the dies. So today I thought I'd do a project using the stamps. And these are big stamps. This is the size that they are in the catalogue. This is full size. Because there's so many of them on the front of the box, they're shown as a lot smaller. In fact, 65%. So they're good sized images. So if you've not already seen this paper, oh my days, this paper is beautiful. It's vellum and it's got flock, like white flock on it. So you've got the hollies and the berries. You've got the beautiful poinsettia, which is what I'm going to use today. And then there's this kind of geometric design. And it's all 12 by 12. It's just lovely. And our vellum is, you know, a really nice, thick quality vellum. So within the stamp set, you get all of these designs. And as I say, they are big. So they're on 2 sheets. So basically, I've taken the 3 biggest poinsettias. I've taken there's 2 sizes of like holly leaf. So I've taken both of those, and then there's the berries. And just to save a little bit of time, I've put them all on my Stamparatus. So I've got a piece of regular Whisper White that I've just got in my Stamparatus tucked into the top right hand corner. I'm just holding it down with the magnet, and I've got all the stamps lined up on the plates for the Stamparatus. I'm going to use Memento Tuxedo Black because I am going to be doing some colouring. So I'm just going to start inking up all these poinsettia and holly and berry elements, and then I'm just going to stamp it down. And obviously the beauty of the Stamparatus is that, you know, I can see I've not inked this one up properly here, but when I lift it up, the magnet's going to hold it in place. I can just come back in with my ink pad and just go over all those stamps again and come back and over stamp, because it's not moved, because it's held in place in the Stamparatus. And it's just a nice way of getting a lot of images stamped in one go, because I am going to die cut these with my die cutting machine, so they'll be fine for now. And because I've got all these on my Stamparatus, I'm going to bring in my Simply Chamois and just wipe over them all to get all that ink off, so that that ink doesn't dry while I'm just carrying on with the project. So what I'm going to do now is bring in my magnetic plate and the plates for my die cutting machine. I'm going to put this through the die cutter. I'm just going to bring in the poinsettia dies. If you buy the dies and the stamp set as a bundle, there's one bundle number, you save 10%. Alternatively, you can buy the dies on their own and you can buy the stamps on their own. And if you do them that way with the 2 individual product numbers, you won't get a 10% savings. So if you are interested in the stamps and the dies, I would buy it as a bundle, and there is a bundle number in the catalogue I've just shown you. So the dies now, you've got choices. You can just cut them out, or they have these inner sections and you can emboss them as well. Okay, so that goes on there. That's the hardest bit, trying to work out where the die lines up with the stamped image. But what I've done with the dies is, so I know how the inner part goes to the outer part, I've put a black, I don't know how well you're going to see this, but there is a black dot on the end of this section and the outer section. So I know that those two will line up like so. And then you've got the berries as well, so I'm going to use the berries, and having the magnetic plate just makes this so much easier, because basically once you get it in place it's not going to move. I'm just going to put the lid on that and run that through my die cutter. So this is what I've got now. I'm just going to pop these back on my little magnetic sheet, and then, as I say, I'm not sure how well you're going to see this, but it is embossed on top of the stamping. Just going to flip my magnetic sheet back over and put these back on here for next time. I'm going to need one more of the little berry sprig, so I'm just going to stamp that and die cut that off camera, and then I'll be back to show you what I'm going to do next. Okay, so for this now, I'm going to just do some simple colouring. I'm going to colour the poinsettia leaves and the berries in red, and I'm going to colour the holly in green. So I'm going to go with, let's see, I think I'll go with Old Olive for the green, and this is a Old Olive Light and Real Red Light. So I'll start with the leaves, and I'm just going to use the brush tip end of my marker. If you don't know what these are Stampin' Blends. These are our alcohol markers, and they come in a combination pack now. You used to be able to buy them individually, so you could buy a light and then a dark if you wanted to separately, but now they come in a combo pack of light and dark. So I'm just going to colour in the leaves very simply. I'm not really doing any shading because we've got all the kind of shading marks already in the stamped images in the black ink. So I'm just going to kind of just, you know, literally colour in. And although I did emboss these, you can only see it very, very faintly. But it's there. I just thought I'd try it. So that's those. The berries, I'm going to bring in the Real Red, and I'm going to use the bullet tip end because these are a bit of a smaller surface area to colour. There is a middle section within the stamps that you can stamp it up in red and then over stamp just to colour in the berries. But being as though I'm using the blends, I just thought I'd do it all with the blends rather than bringing in another layer of ink. So I'm going to carry on and do the poinsettias, and then I'll be back. Okay, so I'm not too bothered about the middle of the two bigger poinsettias because they're going to get laid up and you're not going to see them. But this middle section here has got some like little centre bits. So I'm going to bring in my Mango Melody and just colour those in. I may even put some, you know, gems or something over. I'm not really sure yet, but I'll colour those bits in yellow for now. In the dies, you've actually got a centre bit that you can cut out. Where I've embossed these, as I say, you're not really going to see this, but it is there very lightly. I'm just going to bend them on that middle bit of embossing that I did from the embossing plate, just to give them a little bit of dimension. I mean, if you were putting this in the post, it might get flattened down anyway, but so just a little bit of glue now in the middle. And I'm going to layer these up, offsetting them, and just hold that in place for a few seconds while that glue starts to grab. I mean, this really is a simple card. It's basically just simple stamping and then colouring. As I say, I've not done any fancy blending or anything like that. and it's just going to be layering up and deciding what greeting I want to put on it. So I'm just going to put some glue again in the middle, and then layer this one up again, just slightly offsetting it, holding it till the glue holds. So I'll leave that one there for now. So now for my base card, I've got a piece of UK A4 thick Whisper White, cut in half, right down the middle on the short side, scored and folded with my bone folder. I've got a piece of this lovely Poinsettia Vellum flocked paper, and I'm going to put glue behind where all the flocking is, and then that way hopefully you'll not see this coming through on the front side of my card. And this piece has been cut at 5 5/8 by 3 7/8. So I'm just going to lay that up kind of centrally by eye on the front of my card. Now I can have my card opening this way or this way. It doesn't, I've not decided yet, but I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to have a look and see how it looks. I think it might be a bit too much to have it as a top opening card, because this poinsettia, that's my hand and that's how big it is. So I'm thinking that I might pop it down here, and then I've got my 2 leaves which I can tuck in, maybe like so, and then my 2 lots of berries, which I think will go like that. So I think that will look lovely. And then I've not decided on the greeting, but within the set you've got May Magic and Wonder bloom this holiday, you've got warm wishes from our house to yours, you've got thank you for making this a wonderful season, happy holidays, and then Merry Christmas. So it's going to be a case of, do I put my greeting on the front, or do I just let the paper do the talking and put my greeting on the inside, which I think is what I'm going to do. So I'm going to just move these elements for now. I'm going to pop this up on dimensionals, and then I can tuck the other elements in behind it. So I'm going to put 2 on it, I think, because it is quite a big image, and I want to make sure that it's going to stick to this flock, which I think it will. I don't think there'll be a problem. So I'm going to put this down here in this kind of bottom corner, and then just fluff up my leaves again. And then I'm going to use wet glue for the rest of it. So I'm just going to lift up the leaves and just tuck that in there and hold it in place. And then do the same with this one. I mean, this is basically the design I used when I was just cutting out all the shapes in coloured cardstock. I cut the layers just from plain coloured cardstock, and I layered them up, and I'm just basically doing the same, only this time I've used the stamps and done a bit of colouring. And I think it's a simple design, but I think it works. So I'm just going to pop that one just in there so that peeks out. I'm just going to put my lid on my glue for now. So I'm just going to find my bone folder and just give those a press down to just help that wet glue grab onto the vellum. It only needs holding for a few seconds, and then it'll start to cure and it'll dry on its own. So that's how it's looking now. I think that's stunning, I really do. And then I'm just going to bring in some bling, I think, and add a little bit of bling. Every card you make will look amazing and people will think you are so clever. So, do I want pearls or do I want rhinestones? think we'll go for a couple of rhinestones. And I think what I'll do, I'll just, I think, just maybe put one down here. And maybe one in the middle there. You're supposed to put things in threes, aren't you? So maybe could sneak a smaller one under there. That one's not stuck down, just need to apply a bit more glue. Obviously didn't put enough glue under there to hold it down. Just hold it in place for a few seconds and then I'll clear everything away and let you have a look. So I'm going to use the Merry Christmas because the card obviously is a kind of long card this way, and I think this will just work nicely. And I'll just pop that there. So a nice piece of simple white card with a nice piece of the flocked speciality vellum, and then some simple stamping using Memento Tuxedo Black, cut out with the dies, coloured in simply with some real red blends and Old Olive, layered up, little bit of Mango Melody in the middle just to give a little bit of extra colour, and a couple of bits of bling. And then when you open your card up, you've got your greeting inside. So I hope you enjoyed that video. I hope you'll give it a go. The set really is beautiful. As I said, I honestly, you know, can't praise this set enough. If you do want to buy this and you can, you know, afford to buy the stamps and the dies, you definitely won't be disappointed. It really is a brilliant set. As I say, you can do so much just with the dies on their own. And then obviously you've got alternatives if you want to use the stamps. So please subscribe to my YouTube channel at AppleLover53. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up if you like what you've seen today. If you want to be kept notified of when I post videos or go live, you need to have the mobile app now installed on your phone or a tablet, and you need to have the push notifications turned on. YouTube don't send email notifications out anymore. It's all done through the app. If you use Instagram, you can also follow me at AppleLover53 ScanNCut, and I do tend to post sneak peeks of projects on there before they go onto YouTube. If you want any more help or inspiration, please go over to my website at applelover53.co.uk. You can shop for Stampin' Up products directly from there. I also have a ScanNCut cutting file shop on there, and loads of other help and information, and a blog where you can look back and see previous projects if this is the first one you've found from me. So I hope you like that, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.